Good morning to everyone. Today I came with a very important topic. A new topic is external gear motors and balanced vane motors and unbalanced vane motor. If possible, I would like to discuss the pumps also. Okay, we'll see. So very important. In the last class, we are discussed. In the previous class, we are going to discussing the single acting actuators and double acting actuators, hydraulic circuit and pneumatic circuit. We are the things we are discussing. Today the very important topic is that is the external gear motors. Okay, so in motors, if I use the word motors, you people in mind will comes external something. If you supply the electric power, so gears will start rotating or something component will start rotating or action will takes place. So this is called as a motor. So actually this is a electrical motor. Today what I am going to discussing, this is a hydraulic motor, means with the help of the hydraulic. Okay, with the help of hydraulic energy we are going to be rotating the gears, that is we call it a hydraulic motor. So today I am going to discuss in the 3 to 4 concept about the hydraulic motors. So please concentrate, then please understand the concept, then you will understand clear what is the difference between this one minute UE has been joined. Okay, what is the difference between the hydraulic motor as well as the electrical motor. Then one more question will arise, then we are going to use both the electrical as well as the hydraulic. Sir, when which situations we are going to use the hydraulic motors? In the where it is not, where the hydraulic electrical motor is not possible to use in the hazardous cases, I mean in the critical cases we can't able to use in the electrical motor. In that time we are going to use in the hydraulic motor. So while explaining the concept you will understand better. Okay, so I will start with the screening. So are you able to see the screen clearly, everyone? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first topic is external gear motor. I said that here there is no any extra source like a electrical energy and all, because we are going to use it as a hydraulic energy and we are going to be rotating the gears here. Just you have to see the component of this, or you can diagram of the external gear motor. Okay, so here two ports are there, one is inlet port and one is outlet port is there. Then whatever this housing means, what we call as a casing, this we call as a whatever the coverage of the gears outside portion is there, that we call as a casing. And inside two gears are there. Okay, two gears are meshed with the teeth. Okay, and one more thing is here in the diagram you can able to see the different colors are there, one is blue, one is red. Okay, this is the main components. Okay, when how the fluid going to be entered, then how the gears are start rotating. Okay, why it is rotating in this direction only, later we'll discuss. Okay, so when comes to the working principle of this, okay, external gear motor. Okay, so I will show one video, 1 minute video is there, I will show that, after that I will discuss. Okay, for your more understanding purpose I will share the first video, then you will understand the then I will start explaining these things. Okay, yes. Are you understand something? Hello, hello. Please reply me.
Yes, sir.
Have you watched the video?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you understand something or what?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will means I think I hope those who understand is good, no problem. Those who are not understanding also no problem. I will explain once again. Okay. For my explanation point of view that I will explain. So just you have to observe that the video. It's rotating both the direction means inlet and outlet means it's not fixed. Sometimes vice versa also. Yes or no? That I have observed in the video. Okay. So based on that means outlet inlet is going to be a vice versa sometimes. Okay. Now come to the topic. So here instead of in external gear motor is there, if you start discussing with the external gear pump, what will happen? Two gears are there. One is a driven gear, one is a driver gear. Okay, one gear is rotated with the one gear is fixed with a shaft. Okay, if you give supply with the shaft in the electric power, the shaft is rotating. Anyhow the shaft is going to be connected to the end of the shaft is gear. The gear is also start rotating, so that gear is going to mesh with the another gear. Okay, this is a driven gear and this is a driver gear. Okay, driven gear is meshed with the driver gear. What will happen? This driven gear start rotating, that opposite gear is also start rotating because it is meshing with each other. Okay, it is happen in the pump, but here in the external gear motor there is no any external source to rotate the gear. So high pressure fluid, if suppose you can consider as a oil, so we are going to be passing this housing, whatever the housing or casing. So inside the casing what are there, gears are there. Okay, so we are going to be passing the oil, high pressure oil. It go inside inlet, through the inside inlet it go inside, and it going to be hit inside the both the where the both the gears are going to be mesh each other, no, in that center point only it going to hit because high pressure oil is there. So what will happen here, if it is rotating in the that direction according to the high pressure of that fluid, the gears are start rotating in that rotation only. But here gears teeth are going to be mesh each other. It's going, fluid should not enter the center between the both the gears. Fluid will, there is no chance to enter between the two gears. What will happen? Again the movement of force, or you can call as a rotational force, whatever the water, whatever the fluid oil we are going to use, no, that will going to be create a torque. Okay, that torque means whatever here you can space is there, one is going to be hit on the teeth. Okay, of the teeth of the gear, the fluid will come back. So here with the help of the means once it is coming back, the gears are start rotating. Once it is producing the torque, it is going to be in this opposite direction, it will start rotating. Then the fluid is moving with the help of this whatever the between the casing and gears, whatever the gap is there, through that gap it is coming. Means it is the external gear motor, it is high pressure is converted into a low pressure. Okay, so it is, you can move, you can start enter the fluid from the outlet to the means vice versa also, no problem. But concept you have to understand. I hope you understand the concept.
Yes, sir.
Understanding or not understanding?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The effect of pressure across this tooth cancel the torque generated by the one of the above teeth. Therefore torque is a function of the pressure and area is one tooth. Okay, so what will happen here, in inlet whatever the high pressure fluid is entered, no, so due to that whatever the there is between the gap between the gear, there is there is no chance to enter the whatever the oil and all. So what will happen, again it is here the in the both the inlet enters beside both the gap is there, that whatever the oil is there, it come again rotational, means it is a movement of force, means we call as a torque. It comes, it start rotating in the opposite direction. This high pressure of fluid is going to be converted into a low pressure. So this is the working principle and animation of the external gear pump. I hope you understand everyone. Okay, very simple concept is there. Clear? Hello, hello, Barmani.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Understanding, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thing is that one more thing, very important concept I would like to discuss. Okay, in the previous class we are discussing hydraulic circuit. Okay, the main component is that single acting cylinder and double acting cylinders. Okay, they are the main whatever the doing work we are doing in the actually cylinders. So here what I am going to discussing today, these are the rotary actuators. What we are going to discussing the single acting cylinder, double acting, that are the linear actuators. Okay, please remember it. Okay, linear actuators and rotary actuators. Okay, linear actuators example is piston cylinder, rotary actuators is example is these are the gear motors. So everyone mind what is actuator? Actuator is a device that cause a machine or other device to operate. Okay, this we call as a actuators. Please clear it. External whatever external gear motor is a rotary actuator, piston cylinder is a linear actuators. Please you have to clear this point. I hope you clear. Shall I go for next slide?
Okay, sir.
Are you able to appear this balanced vane motor slide? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, come to the second point, second concept, that is a balanced vane motor. Okay, what we are going to discuss in the previous is the external gear motor. So here see here in the image, I think it's a clear, I think means I select from the Google, it is a different color image will be appearing here. So class hello. Okay. Hello. So in the balanced vane motor, hello, sorry for the disturbance. Okay, a balanced vane motor. So here you can see here two, I think two inlet, two outlets are there. Okay, see here from the inlet is entered here. Okay, and these two are connected in the outlets. Okay, see here whatever the inside, okay, rotor is there, you can able to see and label the parts also. Rotor is there, cam ring is there. Cam ring is in the form of elliptical, ellipse, you can call it as a ellipse, not a circle. Okay, so then inlet is here, inlet, outlet. Okay, I think this is a rotor and this is a cam ring, and inside we call as a vanes. Whatever the you can able to match a stick like is there, no, you can able to see like that we call as a vanes, and these are the vane slots. Okay, then here vanes are adjustable, means it going to be moving each other, means it is not a fixed vanes. These are the adjustable vanes are there. Balanced vane motor component I discussed now. I think I hope you understand everyone. Just I'm discussing the component. Okay, one outlet is there, so outlet is going to be connected in the two-way, and one outlet is there, that outlet is going to connect in a two-way. So here rotor is there, rotor is having a vanes, number of vanes is there, and cam ring will be there, that is in the form, that is in the shape of ellipse. Okay, then it is a, I will go for the next slide, you will understand the better. Okay, so these are the important points I would like to discuss the balanced vane motor. Okay, so balanced vane motor is work on the basis of hydraulic circuit. The first important point is that very important. In the slide I did the red color, these are the very important things you have to remember it. Okay, or in the maybe in the exam or maybe in the internal, okay, they may ask about explain working with a balanced vane motor. These are the 5 points you have to write it. Then again you have to write extra points also, no problem. But thing is that diagram, what I am going to show in that diagram is you have to write properly and label the parts is very important. Okay, you will get the good marks. Come to the first point. Balanced vane motor is work on the basis of hydraulic circuit. Okay, I said that these are the hydraulic circuit. Then these are the actuators. Two actuators are there, linear actuators as well as a rotary actuators. What we are discussing today, that is a rotary actuators, keep in mind. And second thing is fixed displacement motor. Whatever we are going to use now, that balanced motor, that is a fixed displacement, means constant speed. Okay, there is no variation in the whatever the space between the, I will show here. So rotor, yeah, there is no here the fixed, because ellipse as well as rotor you have to observe here also gap is there between the rotor and whatever the cam ring. Here also in this side also gap is there, but here there is no gap, here there is no gap, because a cam ring as well as the ellipse, whatever rotor is going to be attached in the both two side, but gap will be created in the both the side. That should be a constant, because fixed displacement motor. The 2 points I'm discussing. This is worked based on the basis of the hydraulic circuit, and second point is a fixed displacement motor. Then third one, it converts hydraulic power into what we are doing here. So with the hydraulic means you can oil is going to be passing, that you consider as a hydraulic power into a rotary mechanical power. So what will happen once it entered the hydraulic, where it is, see I will show the image also. So here through the inlet, okay, what will happen, the oil is entered, that is hydraulic energy. So here small in this side there is no chance to move the fluid, because here only the chances are there. So here these veins are there. How the veins are going to be start rotating, the here place will be created. In that place, the what will happen, the oil is going to be entered. So with some pressure, what will happen, this rotor is rotated. So simultaneously here also in the top portion of that rotor, you can able to see here two directions are there, inlet, two directions are there. So at a time, what will happen, the both the side the pressure will be applied, the rotor will start rotating. So this is how whatever from here to here rotate, no. So these veins are start rotating, these are the adjustable, there is no chance to move cross one veins to the other veins, because the adjustable which one veins are there, that will rotate. Here the again veins will come like this, means inside, push inside, the fluid is going to be entered in the outlet chamber. Like that same here also, what will happen, the veins are to be adjustable, there is no chance to cross the fluid from the here to here in the sections, okay. So here when it comes the rotor start rotating, veins come here, it is pushing, then again the whatever the fluid is there, it going to be entered with the in the outlet direction. So this is the third point, rotary mechanical power. And it rotor, okay, it rotor will rotate both the direction in clockwise and anti-clockwise. So it is possible to rotate in both the direction, okay. It may be a clockwise, it may be a anti-clockwise. Only thing is that inlet outlet you have to change it, vice versa, nothing in that, okay. If it is changed in the both the inlet and outlet vice versa, definitely that will become a whatever if the rotor will rotate in both the direction, clockwise as well as anti-clockwise direction, okay. So in the unbalanced, there is no chance of the clockwise and anti-clockwise, only one direction is possible. I think here the balanced, in that both the directions are possible. And fifth one is, it works with high speed and high pressure, and also high speed at low pressure. Two conditions it is, if you want to whatever, see, if it is work with a high speed and high pressure, if you want high speed, low pressure. So based on your requirement, based on the applications, we can able to use the balanced vane motor. Today I discussed all the very important 5 top points about the balanced vane motor. I hope you understand all the 5 points are clear. Hello, Barmani?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think any doubts is there? Hello?
No,
Shall
sir.
no problem. I will show one video, okay, regarding related to this. After that, you give anything is there, you can ask, no problem, okay. I will share the video, okay. Just you have to observe that. Hello, hello.
Hello, sir.
Okay, very small video, sir. Have you understand the video?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. The thing is that one more point I would like to explain. Okay, a balanced vane motor in the sense why the name is given here, because we are going to be using two inlet and two outlet. Because of that reason, it's going to be balancing the rotor. But when it comes to the unbalanced, it is not balanced. It is somewhere it may be in the any corner of the that whatever the casing. Okay, but here the rotor is going to be fixed because the rotor is going to be moved with the help of the whatever the ellipse is there, no ellipse that space. It is the rotor has to possible to rotate in the all direction, but due to the balance or whatever the inlet of the outlet, it going to be a fixed in a center position. So because of that reason we called as a balanced vane motor. So I hope you understand. Shall I go for next topic?
Yes, sir.
So this is a second third concept today's unbalanced vane motor. So balanced, unbalanced, the concept is I think 60% similar, but thing is that I think a little bit difference will be there. Just I would like to explain the components of that. What are the parts are there? Vane slot is there. This is vane slot, and these are the vanes. Okay, and this vane slot. This is outlet. This is inlet, and this is a rotor block, and this is a cylinder block. Okay, you can call it as a casing also. Okay, cylinder block. Okay. Once again I would like to explain here left side and right side we are going to mention. Left side, right side I would like to explain in the while explaining the animation. So now just you have to see the components or parts of the unbalanced vane motor. So rotor block is there, and cylinder block is there, vane slot is there, vanes are there, and outlet and inlet are there. So here before discussing the things, so we see here just why we call the unbalanced, because here the rotor is there. Okay, the rotor is going to be fixed in one side of the whatever the cylinder block, not exactly center in the cylinder block. In the balanced vane motor, the whatever the rotor is there, rotor block is there, the rotor block is having with the vane slot, vane center. Okay, a rotor block is center position, exactly center position in the casing. So that's what we call as a balanced. Here unbalanced means the unbalanced means the rotor block is not going to be fixed in a center position. It's going to be rotated in the any direction of the casing, also any place of the casing or cylinder block also. That's what we call as a unbalanced vane motor. Okay, thing is that very thing here also inlet outlet is there, but in that two inlet two outlets are there. Okay, so here inlet, through the inlet whatever the fluid is going to be entered. Okay, suppose oil is going to be entered, so here the gap is there, so between the two vanes gap is there. I think the directly oil will going to be allow here, so some pressure here appear, then again the this whatever the vanes are then start rotating. These vanes also adjustable vanes. Okay, these vanes also adjustable vanes. You can just even see the image. I'll show the video also later, no problem. Once it start rotating, okay, so what will happen here, up to the left side, okay, it entered up to the left side, the oil is going to be entered. Then after crossing the left side, that whatever the line is there, vertical line, after that it is going to be a exit. Okay, entry from enter inlet is from the through the inlet, the whatever the fluid is entered, oil is entered, so it is entered means creating the pressure up to the center line. After that is going to be coming with the we can again with the high pressure and coming outside of the outlet. So here there is no gap, there is no chance to come between the bottom portion of the rotor block, because here there is the contact, the directly contact between the rotor as well as the cylinder block is there. There is no chance, because one more thing, here vane is going to be attached here, so whatever the inlet fluid is coming, direct enter in the between the these two vanes only. So that whatever the fluid should not comes bottom or bottom of the below the rotor block. So this whatever the important points I would like to discuss with the slide, so you people will understand more better explanation of the theory part. So here points wise I make the points wise for your understand purpose. So unbalanced vane motor, first point is unbalanced vane motor is work on the basis of ideal circuit. Same, this is also one of the rotary actuators. Okay, This also comes under the rotary actuators. Today what we are going to discussing, these are the everything is the rotary actuators only. Unbalanced is a motor is work on the basis of hydraulic circuit. Okay, I think this point is clearly understand. There is no need to explain this. And comes to the second point, unbalanced is variable displacement motor. Okay, that is positive or fixed displacement motor. So this is variable. There is whatever the displacement gap is there between the cylinder block as well as the rotor block, that is not fixed, but in the balance it is a fixed. That's what we call as a fixed displacement. And here the main difference is variable displacement motor. I hope you understand this point also. Shall I'll go for the next point. It covers or no, not covers, it converts, okay, hydraulic power into a unbalanced rotary mechanical power for more torque on the shaft of the rotor. So this is exactly similar to the external gear motor, how the gear motors they generate a torque and all, that rotational movement of the force will be there in that in the unbalanced, that we call as a rotary mechanical power for the more torque on the shaft of the motor. This is, I hope you understand. The fourth point is the main purpose of unbalanced rotor is the why we are using, what is the main purpose we are going to using. The next point is the main purpose of the unbalanced rotor is create a difference in area exposed to hydraulic energy for the torque. Okay, main thing is that whatever the area is going to be exposing, that whatever the area means, it is like a kidney shape area is, you know, that is having a in the upper portion is having a large space, and in the bottom portion it is a less space. You can call it as a kidney shape. Okay, for that it what will happen, it is area exposed to the hydraulic energy for torque. Okay, and fifth point, I hope you understand. And fifth point, they cover the here also low to low pressure, medium pressure as well as high pressure. Okay, depending upon the whatever applications, low pressure, medium pressure, high pressure capacity, and in the speed and speed ranges, whatever the according to your applications, you can, it is possible to do these things also. It is possible to do the, I think they cover the low to medium and okay, what happened, sorry for that. Hello, 1 minute. Sorry for the problem. Okay, something problem, unstable. Okay, for whatever network is unstable, because of that reason. Okay, no problem. Okay, they cover the low to medium, high pressure capacity and speed ranges. Okay, this is unbalanced vane motor. So I would like to show one small video I having with, that is less than 1 minute. You can able to understand. I hope you understand, no, theory part. Barmani,
Sir.
a clear point I mentioned in the slide. I hope you understand, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will show one small video I am having. Okay. Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen that animation video? Nothing difficult, okay?
Yes, sir.
Nothing difficult, very simple concept are there. So today we are discussing the very three important concept that we call as a rotary actuators. The first one is external gear motors without any external help of the like electrical energy and nothing we are going to use. With the help of the hydraulic energy only we are going to be converting the rotary whatever the motions, okay? So for example external gear motors, balance, unbalanced, these are the with important points, okay? With the diagram, with the animation we have discussed with the today topic. Shall I go for next topic?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is last topic is pump is there, okay? In this model we are discussing the hydraulic detailed parts, whatever the applications, everything hydraulic and pneumatic, as well as motor we are discussed, and the last topic is pump, okay? Everyone knows that means many of them are have a little bit confusion in the motor as well as pump, okay? Don't keep that doubts in the mind. Motor and pump though both are different only. So in the, after the completion of engineering, maybe they would like to ask about questions about the pump as well as motor as well as hydraulic as well as pneumatic. So examination point of view as well as the interview point of view, you have to prepare it in the basic concept. So first I would like to explain the what is pump, okay? A pump is a device, it is one device, okay? That is used to perform the transfer of fluids of substances such as slurries from one point to another point, or one point to another point, usually at a lower elevation to another point, okay? So here what we'll do here, whatever the low pressure, so I would like to once again repeat, a pump is a device is used to perform the transfer of fluids, substances such as slurries from one point to another point, enough, okay? So pump means we are using pump for the what cases, what are the means, what is the main principle of that. So what we will do, we are going to be transferring fluid, transfer of fluid from one place to another place. In that cases the device we are going to use, that device itself name is called as a pump, okay? In mechanical engineering FM lab we are having, in that we are going to use the pump, okay? So what are the pumps we are going to use? Reciprocating pump, okay? Then which one, to and fro motions, that whatever the pumps we are going to use,
Centrifugal pump.
Centrifugal pump, these are the pumps we are going to use. So in that clearly we did which one external, we did in the lab also, we connected the lab, we taken the readings also, means we are understanding what is actually pump. So whatever the lower, if suppose two tanks are there, lower tank and upper tank, so I need to pump, I need to suck, I need to transfer the lower tank to higher tank. So what we will do, obviously we have to use the pump, means whatever the lower pressure of water is converted into high pressure, that is the main device is name called as a pump, okay? So I hope to understand the what meaning of the pump, okay? Today the pump is used for the irrigation, the very important points, okay? For your understanding purpose, a small points I am going to mention in the slide. For water supply, gasoline supply, air conditioning system, refrigeration, use called a compressor, chemical movement and sewage movement. So pumps are used for the today's pump is going to use for the irrigation, okay? Those who are having the agriculture land is they're having, if you want to transfer the fluid from water from one place to another place, so you have to use devices called as a pump, okay? This pump, whatever the related I think different types of pumps and something will comes, okay? If possible tomorrow class, means next class, I would like to explain the detailed parts. Just you have to understand the concept of pump is enough, okay? So next class, if possible, I would like to discuss the related whatever the different if suppose what once you understand the pump, there is no need to go for all the things, okay? So even the syllabus also do not mention anything about that. So for the pump related to next class, I would like to discuss a few things, then I'll go for the new model I would like to start. So I will request you one request for the everyone. So please, in this model, hydraulics and pneumatics, motors and pumps, okay, we are discussing the 7 to 8 classes. If anything, any concept is not understanding, please you have to ask me, okay? Or if it is not possible in the Zoom class, you can contact me, text me or WhatsApp also, or you can call me. I think if you want, hello Barmani.
Yes, sir.
I hope according to me, I think explained very nicely only. But how you people are felt that means are you understanding clearly or hello, hello?
Hello, sir.
Burman, are you understanding? Classes daily.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. If anything is there, okay, like that you have to please tell me. Okay, I will try to improve the whatever the saying of the explanation style and something I would like to change it. No problem. With your help, I will also improve. Okay. So thanks for attending classes today. Okay. Tomorrow I will came with a new topic. Okay. Very interesting topic. I came with that new tomorrow. Thanks for attending Varmani as well as Yogesh and Ekanath. Okay. Thanks for the others also. Thank you. Have a nice day. Okay.
Okay.